this time. Saturdays and Sundays are subject to change, but this is going to be typically the time that I live stream. I am building, and we're actually going to be talking about productivity today, and productivity is different for all of us because we're all at different places. So thank you for tapping on the screen. Thank you for being here. I can already feel the love. I felt it's interesting how sometimes I get really excited when I go on these lives and other times anxiety pops up. But man, every time that people start dropping comments and showing love, I'm automatically able to just snap out of it because that love is powerful. So thank you. You're going to need to change my time. I'm going to be streaming and recording this. We're on
YouTube and Twitter. Right
yeah,
now.
YouTube and Twitter, and we're going to be branching out even more as we continue to build. Yep, Facebook and Instagram as well, and those are going to be recorded. We're leveling up, kids. So today what I want to talk about is productivity. I want to talk about something that I've been practicing very recently, and it has helped me be more productive. And so productivity is affected by a lot of different things. First and foremost, the very first thing that we do, the very first thing that we do when we start our day before we get around other people and we connect with other people, even if you've loved this person or they're your child and they're your baby and oh, they're so cute, or it's somebody that you care about, or somebody just said, oh my God, you have to check your phone. It is so important. It is so important for you just to say, I know how I'm feeling right now. That is one of the most important, if not the most important parts of your day. Because if you don't identify how you feel, that projector, that movie projector, do you know about projecting? If you do not know about projecting, say no and be open and be vulnerable. Projecting that mood, projecting the thing that happened from the other day, projecting your sadness that other person spoke to you in a certain way, projecting that things are going to be exactly how they've been before at work, projecting that you already know how people are going to react. Okay? This is why it's so important for you to check in with yourself. Just because you live in the same place, just because people react the same way, just because you have a certain amount of money or you dress a certain way does not mean anything until you make it mean something. Hey, what's up, Desiree? Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the double taps. Okay, so after we've identified how we feel, the mood that we have felt, the new thing that I've been practicing is I have a list. I have a list. Take notes if you've been depressed lately. Oh, what a coincidence. There you are. Hey. All right. So I got you. What are 5 things? What are 5 things that I want to accomplish? What are 5 things? Not 5 million, not 5,000, not 500. What are 5 things? So for example, because people have been asking, and because I've been able to get more stable and more grounded and more centered and more focused with all the different things that have been going and all the changes and the transformations and the healings, and I'm in a relationship and there's 3 children and there's life and everything the light touches is our kingdom. Okay. The very main thing that I'm focused on right now, and you'll notice that it's in my bio link, is I am developing a course for what I talk about. That is going to be human interaction, that is going to be multiple people with us interacting together as a family, because family shows up. That's going to be the full spectrum of what do we do with sadness? What do we do with anger? What do we do with grief? What do we do with trauma? What are understandings we can have? What are interpretations we can have? And so within this process, it's easy for me when I'm talking with you. When somebody comes up to me, it's easy for me to say, this is where I go to. This is where I go to. Hey, what's up, Scuzz? Nice to see you, baby. So it's easy for me in the moment when it's live, when somebody does something, when somebody says something a certain way. However, mapping that out and actually writing that out can be very challenging if there's a million different places where you could go to. You think like, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to say it? What are they going to interpret? Where's the place where I start? The very, very, very first thing that we do is we focus on when you have this list either on your phone or on a piece of paper or in a whiteboard or whatever. If you want to be more productive, or if you are somebody who wants to get out of your circumstances, having 5 things to focus on that are realistic things that you are going to focus on. You're only focusing on number 1. You're only focusing on number 1. So for me, my number 1 step when I'm doing this is simply just being able to focus on what is the introduction. In the same way, if you are somebody who wants to have a new job or a new career, if you are somebody who is homeless, who is financially going through a difficult time, maybe your number 1 focus, your main focus is just on listening to your brain. Let me just listen to my brain. People hear these concepts, people hear what I'm talking about, and they don't take notes about it. I encourage you to take notes. I have a notebook in my bio link, but I'm telling you, people hear these concepts, and then what happens? What does the subconscious mind do? It self-sabotages. It says, we'll do it later. It's too much. It's too hard. Right? But when you, thank you. Thank you for the gift. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Natalia? Thank you. But when you actually sit down and you have the self-awareness, if this resonates, if this rings true for you, like, you know what, that is a good idea. I have been hard on myself. You know what? I am insecure sometimes. I should listen to people. I should just listen to people. Because I'm always responding. We're always responding. We're always responding. We're responding, reacting, responding, reacting, responding. Most people are not living. Most people are just reacting and responding to every single thing, to the news, to social media. They like this or they don't like this. This looks good or this doesn't look good, right? So when you can actually say, if that's one thing that you want to do, if you want to be more productive and you are insecure or you get over, doctor told you some like you're creating this thing where like, I'm never going to get it because the doctor told me there's something wrong with me, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for the gifts. Takes one to know one. Royalty recognizes royalty. Okay, so when you just focus on that first step and you say, today's going to be the day where I really just, let's use this as an example. Today, I'm just going to listen to people. Even though if you have had a challenge communicating with other people, before you even speak, it's important, in my opinion, to actually hear how you interpret things. A big part of productivity is understanding it's very easy for us to be by ourselves. You're not surviving, baby, you're thriving. You're thriving. There's a big difference. A big part of productivity is actually listening to the interpreter that is your brain. People don't even realize how simple and profound this can be. Because when you actually start to listen to your tone of voice, somebody right now is interpreting my tone of voice in a way that I would not interpret my tone of voice. Some people like my tone of voice. Some people do not like my tone of voice. Some people love my rhythm. Some people say, you are talking too fast. Hello, English is my second language. Hello, Nikki Scorpio. And I'm like, yeah, I get that, right? What I've also realized is there is a natural way that we are going to keep on learning. And as we continue to keep on growing and healing, things are naturally going to change in our life. And they're going to, in that same way, they're going to change in everybody else's life. It can be very, very overwhelming if you are somebody who wants to inspire people to think, where do you start? Because there's 8 billion people and everybody has their own perspective. Thank you, It's Only, for subscribing. Thank you. Make sure that you tap that bio link to get that complimentary, that free phone call with me, video call with me, video chat with me for 15 minutes. Although don't tell Nikki Scorpio, he goes over 15 minutes. So tap that. And then after that, it is $30 an hour instead of $60 an hour to book time with me. So it's hard to letting people think you're titanium good. So compile a list. So compile a list. What are 5 things that I'm going to do to change this? To change this, right? So thank you for the compliment, but here's the thing, Telly, here's the thing. Grateful that you're complimenting me saying, I like your tone of voice. The interesting thing is, for example, what I've learned, because some people would be able to tell like, oh, it sounds like he grew up in like the hood or in like poverty, or that he grew up in a certain way, or where's his accent from, right? That Some people who don't come from where I come from are going to hear my tone of voice and they're going to make assumptions about me. In the same way that people are going to say, I just like who you are and I see you as a person and I like your energy. And I look into your eyes and I look into your souls and I like your energy and I like your spirit and I like what you have to say. There are other people who've been preconditioned to judge people off of presentation. And so that person is so focused on having successful people and rich people and moisturized people and brand name people, they're going to focus on every single detail to find a flaw, to say, well, it doesn't look like he's in a mansion. It doesn't look like Central Park is in the background. It doesn't look like there's Beverly Hills or Bel Air. It doesn't look like a certain way that I should be around people who are presentation based. And his presentation doesn't exactly match what my presentation is defined by and what success means. I've hung out with millionaires and billionaires. I've hung out with a lot of narcissistic people. I've hung out with a lot of presentation-based people. In the same way, I hang out with a lot of people who don't care about all that other stuff. So this is where you can actually start to listen to other people's tones of voices. And you can realize one of the biggest blocks that people have when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to networking, when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to starting up a business. Is there anybody in here who's already started up a business or who is going to be starting up a business or has that dream and that intention to start up that business? Tell us. Winners celebrate winners. Drop an emoji or say yes. If not, it's all good. Don't compare yourself. But if you want to, even if you don't think that it's possible, just do it to set the intention. Stop playing small. There you go. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love that. Hey, what's up, Jen? Jen, nice to see you as always. Starting up a healing lodge. Powerful. I love that. Yo, there's a Jen, there's a Jenny Jen, and there's a Jen. This is like, it's Jen Day. All right. And I dropped the gems. There's gems for the Jens and Jennies and Jennifers. Sheesh. And Jen and Jennifer is actually a name that comes from my heritage from Cornwall. I don't know if you know that or not. So let me collect my thoughts. So if you are somebody who is starting a business, if you are somebody who wants to be an entrepreneur, if you're an artist, if you're a creative person, when you get into a meeting with somebody, this is really why I started focusing on this, is because when I moved to Los Angeles from Manhattan and I started hanging out with celebrities and wealthy people and creative people and spiritual people who look really well put together and had their stuff together, that all of these insecurities started popping up and all of this judgment started popping up. Does anybody relate to that? Put in a yes or put an emoji in there if you relate to that. If you've been around other people and you think, oh my God, they're judging my outfit, they're judging my teeth, they're judging my skin, they're judging my wrinkles. Okay, good. I got great news for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this with us for the rest of our lives. This is a simple one and it's a profound one. Scorpios like to go in depth. Okay, so go in depth on this one. Don't just take the surface level and keep on going because you want to look good and avoid looking bad. From somebody who comes from poverty, from somebody who had big time issues, insecurities about my physical presentation. Some of the greatest people, some of the nicest people, some of the richest people, some of the wealthiest people, some of the most spiritually evolved people had some of the most amazing, some of the most impactful conversations with me personally when I did not like myself. Look at your calendar to book time. Sale price not showing up for hour slots. So what's up, yo? So first of all, what you do is you tap that star up there and then you join the VTP family. That's $6. Then from there, you join the VTP. You get a 15-minute call with me. And then from there, I send you a follow-up email. That's going to have the $30 an hour to book time with me. And I'm also including, don't tell anybody right now, but I have a PDF worksheet that's going to show you how to map out to get from point A to point B, which is what I used when I was in the abusive relationship, when I was depressed and I didn't want to be alive and I didn't want to be around. And I'm also going to throw in the ebook for the power of setting boundaries. All right, so tap that star up there. Okay. So So, if you are somebody who wants to start up a business, if you are an artist, if you are a creative person, I do have WhatsApp. I prefer to use, I have a Google Voice number. I don't like to give away my personal information, which I'm sure you can appreciate. But I do have a Google Voice number. But if you want to contact me, just message me either on Instagram or join the Discord. You can now also on TikTok, you can message me. Please do not message me smiley faces asking me my personal favorite color, okay? There's 10,000 direct messages, 7,500 text messages, and 5 businesses that I'm building, please. As much as I love to shoot the breeze, I am a human being. Okay, sometimes more than others. Okay, so weird conversations. Okay, focus. Okay, so people are in parallel universes, like I'm live streaming in a parallel universe, having a conversation that's a complete and total non sequitur. I don't understand it. Okay, so moving right along. I want to let you know that people who are very wealthy, people who are very successful, like when I hung out with a billionaire before, that was like the Indian version of Great Gatsby that lived in New Jersey. His house was completely and totally haunted, and it was really weird and awkward. And I was like, wow, this is lonely. Although I'm sure that he had opinions about my clothing, and I'm sure that he had opinions about my appearance, the fact that I'm very passionate, the fact that I very much care about mental health, the fact that I very much care about humanity, and I have a unique perspective, same as you, takes one to know one. That's why we're here. He listened to every single word that I said, and he had a full conversation with me for hours and for hours and for hours and hours and hours. In the same way, I've done business and I've connected with people that normally like who normally would charge thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for what he did, and he was able to do it for free based off of conversation. It was purely based off of conversation and the acknowledgement of who I am as an artist. Okay, so I want for you to truly download and integrate and understand the concept that successful people want to see who you really are. You do not change your tone of voice. You do not change your body stance. You do not do this and do this and do this and do this and do this. You stand tall because you believe in what you're speaking. You stand tall because you know what you say has value. And there is a practice to remind yourself that what you say has value. Are you with me? Are you noticing, for those of you where that feels uncomfortable, to receive that as a compliment, that what you're saying actually has value? It doesn't matter if you have an accent. It doesn't matter if when you talk you're missing teeth. It doesn't matter if your skin is wrinkled. It does not matter how you physically look. It matters how you feel about your success. Are you with me? Project the energy that you matter. Project the belief that what you are saying is profound. Project the truth that you are fascinated by this concept that you are learning, whether that is your spiritual journey, whether that is mental health, whether that is crocheting or needlework, whether that is your music, the art project you're creating, whether that is your business. And I have great news for all of you who are wanting to start a business, for those of you that are wanting to get more into being an artist, for those of you that are working part-time jobs and you have dreams, goals, and ambitions. When people ask you what you do, you tell them where you are going. You tell them, I'm a business owner. I own a business. I own a business. I'm an artist. I'm a singer. I'm a successful singer. I'm a successful artist. You speak it into existence. It's not fake. It's not fraudulent. Because when that person wants to know about your business and you give them your elevator pitch, because guess what? It doesn't matter what you are doing. It matters why. It matters why. Anybody can do what I am doing. For the person who's asking what I'm doing, anybody can do what I do. When I lived in Los Angeles, when people used to have this conversation with me, anybody ever been to Hollywood or LA, and they say, oh my God, I love your energy. What do you do? I started having this conversation back to say, hey, do you know actually that when people ask you what you do, that they're judging and determining how to value your words and your opinions? Wouldn't you rather want to know why I do what I do? Isn't it more important why I do what I do? Let me tell you why I do what I do. Then I can tell you what I do. Have a list of 5 things. Put your intention up top. I want to start a business, or I want to be more successful, or I want to have a healthy relationship. I want to be productive. I want to get to point B. I want to get out of these circumstances. I deserve to be around better people. What is one thing that I'm going to do because my relationship isn't where I want it to be? My communication isn't where I want it to be. My perspective is where I don't want it to be. And I know that there's more for me, and I don't have mentors. I don't have the information. I don't know where to search. I don't know where to start. It's overwhelming. Step number 1 could be, I am going to learn how to listen, to actively listen to this person. I am going to hear their tone of voice. I am going to focus for 24 hours on their voice. Maybe it's 48 hours or 72 hours. Maybe it's 1 week. You're still communicating. You're still having your back and forth. You're just putting a little bit more effort into communication. Thank you. Thank you, Dreamer. Thank you. I love you. Thank you, everybody. I'm focused right now, baby. It's me and you. So thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the double taps. And thank you for all of you who interact with everybody. I love this. Thank you. When you focus on that one, and then let's say next week, but when you write it down, your brain connects with it. There's actual science behind this. There's data behind this. There's studies behind this. That's why journaling helps. That's why taking notes, writing it down. And yes, sometimes it's nice to use your text to speech feature on your phone, or to use the notes section on your phone if you're absolutely on a budget. However, writing it down is powerful. Okay, so from here, the second one could be, if your focus is on a relationship, and if you're not in a relationship, just listen to what I'm saying. Because if you do want to be in a relationship, you can take this advice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you. Wow, look, 2 people in a row said that I'm soothing. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you, user 818, for dropping gems and for adding value. I love how everybody adds values. Tell people what you like. Tell people something. Drop things in the comment section. You can screenshot these things or take notes. Tell people stuff that has helped you and benefited you. Share books that you like. Share audios that you like. Share meditations that you like. Like, for real, like, add value to people's life. And that's another one for you to take if you're somebody who wants to network. This is why you love what you do, my love. This is why you love what you do. You love this. You love your journey. You're fully invested. You're not afraid. When you're networking, when you're making friends, when you're falling in love, you are excited about yourself. Do you get this? That's different though, isn't it? You stand up for yourself. You're the cheerleader and you're the quarterback. You're the number 1. You're your biggest follower. You believe in yourself. I was talking about this yesterday on Jen's live stream. People get so frustrated by the concept of manifesting. If you actually look up the definition of manifesting in simple terms, I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically that you what I'm saying. It does not matter how you physically appear to successful people. It matters that you know that you are successful. But let's stay on this. Let's stay on this analogy of 5 things of how to be more productive. If it applies to a relationship, The first week is you just listening. And yes, again, you're communicating, but you can use a notebook. You can just really listen. You can just listen and just be fascinated. This is why people disconnect with the phrase of be in the present moment, and everything happens for a reason. When you're in the present moment, you're observing it in the same way you are listening to me right now, and your brain is interpreting and interpreting and interpreting and making meaning. And you're looking at the comments, and your brain is making meaning over and over and over again. And when you look and listen and observe and use your senses to just see as if you were just in this moment, just you and me, you would understand that there's more than one choice. There's more than one possibility. There's more than one option. The second week can be you listening to yourself when you are communicating and asking yourself, now that you've listened to this other person, I wonder how they're interpreting and receiving my information. Have you actually ever given a conscious thought to when you speak, how the other person actually hears and interprets and receives and integrates into their life what you are speaking? Have you ever actually given conscious thought to this? Hey, you know what? You're really funny. But there's kids and stuff like that around. So what we're just gonna do, because family's really important for me, we're just gonna mute you. Don't speak that way. Don't drop profanity on this live stream. Don't do that. I'm from New York. I'm from the Bay. I can handle profanity. It's just family's really important, and just it's not in style. Thank you. Thank you. Go troll somebody else. People are here to learn, and people are here to be family. Thank you. And if you want to be the weird cousin who's telling people what you're wiping, you can go do that in your own personal time, okay? The bathroom is not in the family room. Thank you for understanding that. Boundaries, right? Okay. So, the second week, I mean, even right now, I'm being very factual. I'm not putting this person down. I'm just stating what my boundaries are. So see what shows up in your body. See how you feel right now in this moment, where you're looking for the person and you're looking for the comment. Be aware of how often you're saying sorry. I wasn't referring to you. Look at how often you automatically go to I did something wrong, and you put your head down and you feel ashamed. Dreamer, for real. Observation is a part of being effective and efficient and productive. Look at how often you put yourself down and you speak negatively about yourself. How do you stand a chance? Don't look for my validation. Don't look for my credibility. Don't look for my acknowledgement. Speak because you like to communicate. Speak because it's the right thing. You're not responsible for our interpretations. If you feel right now that you are causing pain, this is the last part I'm going to say about it, because I want to keep on moving forward. Don't feel guilty. I mean, feel how you feel. Feel how you want to feel. But I'm saying, if you actually physically feel like you're causing pain, you don't have that impact over me. Nobody has that power over me to affect my emotions. I am responsible, and I take my responsibility and my accountability very serious. Nobody has the power to change my mood. It is up to me how I choose to react and what I choose to give power to. Okay? So, after you've been listening to this other person, listen to yourself. Listen to your tone of voice. Observe yourself. Observe yourself. Notice where you go to. Categorize. Categorize where you go to. Exactly like Marge. Is it Marge? Right here. Don't say sorry. Say thank you for your patience. Hey, what's up? What's up, Chakra God? Thank you. When you start to really observe where your brain goes to, start to notice in the second week how quickly you put your head down. When people tell you that there's something wrong with you, how you put your head down. Notice if in your go-to emojis that there is a sad face. Notice if when you are talking about your mental health and describing who you are, there's a heaviness about it. How do I work on strengthening my boundaries besides the fact that I have an ebook in my bio link? And anybody who books time with me is going to get a copy of that for free, as well as the PDF for mapping out how to get from point A to point B. You can set boundaries around your perspective. You can say, my new perspective is that people love what I'm saying. And if they don't like what I'm saying, then they're not for me and I'm not going to take it personal. And if they don't like what I'm saying, I can also use my communication to be more neutral, to be more factual. That's why in a lot of my conversations, you'll notice that what I'm saying is provable. What I'm saying, they've done studies around this stuff. What I'm saying, there's an actual logic to it. Okay? Notice where you go to. And again, if you say, for example, Desiree, you say that there's a heaviness in your chest. This might be because sometimes when we have these kind of conversations, the body has emotional triggers, emotional reactions. One of the things that I do in moments like that is I acknowledge that existence and I talk to that heaviness and I say, hello. And I hear it saying, hello, like Eeyore, right? And you could talk to her in your case. You can just have an intuitive conversation. You can breathe into your chest. You can breathe into your heart. And you can say, do you know that right now you're in a room, you're in a cool thing called a live, and that there are people from all over the world that feel how you feel, and nobody's judging you, and nobody's making fun of you, and nobody's mocking you, and nobody's teasing you? Do you know that we've been doing great things in our life? Ask that heaviness in your chest how old they are. And talk to that heaviness in your chest and to say, you know what? I'm you from the future and I want to let you know all the cool things that we've done. And you can see what age she is. And you can talk to her. It is very hard. But you know what else was hard? Learning how to walk and learning how to talk. But you were persistent, weren't you? This was hard. This is challenging. Heroes get afraid. Did you know that? Do you know that heroes are afraid? But they do it anyway. Ding dong. Heroes are afraid and they do it anyway. I just kept on going. This is why it's important for us to be very logical, to have lists for you to write down, to say, I want to get this to this place. What are 5 things that I'm going to do in order to get to this space? What is number 1? I'm not going to focus on the other 4 until I get to it. Number 1 is, again, the analogy I'm giving it is a relationship. I'm listening to this other person. I'm studying their behaviors. I'm noticing their tone of voice. I'm seeing what makes them tick. I'm seeing what habits they like to do, how they eat, how they think, what fascinates them, what their algorithm in their life is, the company that they keep. I'm really getting a full picture, even if you've known them for years or for decades. Maybe it's time to hit a refresh. And then from there, week number 2, you're listening to yourself. You're noticing your time management, where you go to, what leads up to that conversation, how many times you go into meetings, how many times you go into that relationship, how many times you get around other people and you just keep on going and you're autopilot and you're not giving yourself any time to actually think about what you're going to say. You just say it and you just say it, and then you get frustrated and don't even think that there's another option. There's other options. Dreamer Beamer, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. And I'm going to call you out. And I know that you rock with me and I know that you love me. So I'm saying this with love. And this might even frustrate you for a second. And I'm going to challenge you because I don't know if you can last 24 seconds. I want to see if you can do this for 24 hours. I want for you to, and this is for anybody else who is very, 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 very hard on himself and very traumatized now that it's 4 o'clock. I want for you to go in a challenge for 24 hours to not complain and to not put yourself down. I dare you. For all of you who say that you are sorry, for all of you who have conversations that imply that you are a burden, for those of you that are communicating in this live stream and you're saying, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know who I am, I don't like other people, I have problems, there's something wrong with me, I'm disabled, I'm with other people who are mean to me, there are problems, people are mean to me, I hate other people, I hate my bank account, I don't like my age, I'm a failure, I want to be married, I want to be in love, I want to be happy, I want to be like everybody else. Everybody else is numb. All of that was a charade. All of that was an illusion. It's not real. It doesn't exist. The older generations are completely and totally checked out about how finance and how money works in 2023. The people who've written the articles about how to be in a healthy relationship most likely are not in a perfect relationship, and you'd be surprised. Sometimes your relationship is actually better than others because you have honesty. If you are somebody who has, the first thing that I would say, let's do that list now. Number one, week number one is I am going to listen for this entire week for how often I have negative thoughts in my head, for how often I say nobody understands me, for how often I say nobody makes eye contact with me, for how often I say, oh, of course I got hit with that bill. Of course my finances are this way. Oh, there it is. It's happening again. Complain, complain, complain. Negativity, 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 negativity. And it's false evidence appearing real. You ever heard that before? It's in, what's it called, an Enneagram or whatever? It's FEAR. Fear is false evidence appearing real. You can't prove it. And if you think that you are not seen, then you are going to be the person who is going to start communicating. Week number 2 is going to be the parts where you actually just sit and say, what emotions am I feeling from moment to moment? I'm just giving you a hypothetical list, just 5 things. It's not 5 million, just 5 things. What emotion am I feeling? Where did my brain go to? Week number 3 could be, I don't know what, how to create excitement, how to create excitement. How can I feel excited about my life? How can I be excited about getting out of poverty? How can I be excited about blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth. So on and so forth. Week number 4 could be, what is something that, and you can do this in whatever order you want to. Week number 4 could be, I don't like my job right now. What is something that I would do for free? And what is one step that I can take to find a way to make money doing it? What is one intention that I have? I created my own lane. If I can do it, you definitely can do it. No excuses. No, I have kids. I have a relationship. I don't have time. If you have 30 seconds in your day, every single day, you take that 30 seconds and you take the baby steps and you do one thing to honor and to acknowledge that you have hope, and you do not need to share this with other people. That is the unwritten rule, especially if you have people around you who put you down and judge you. And week number 5 can be you convincing yourself that you deserve to have this job and getting into the energetic space of actually feeling what that would feel like when you get the good news. These are just hypothetical examples. So no, I'm not all over the place. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. If I'm triggering you, if I'm frustrating you, this is your issue to work on. Thank you for understanding that. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you. 5 things in order for you to obtain the intention that you want. 5 things. 5. What is step number 1? I really, really want for you to take a look at how we go to so overwhelming and we just want to have love, or we just want to have financial freedom, or we just want to be healthy, or we just want to have more friends, and then we get overwhelmed because there's way too many people and there's way too many things and there's way too many options, and what if it fails, and what if. When we only focus on one step at a time, and we start to realize that we can see that thing all the way through. Again, while I'm working on my course, while I'm working on this emotional intelligence course, I was like, how many weeks? How many classes? What's it going to be? Where am I going to go? How am I going to communicate this? What is it going to be? It's the very first step. It's just to write it in my notes section. Just say emotional intelligence course structure. And then from there, I can say, the first thing that I want to do after this is I want to spend time on childhood and how that affects emotional intelligence. And I can think about all the different branches. See, what I feel like some people aren't getting is that what we're doing right now is we're mapping out. And the real issue that I've noticed with humans, with people, is we are not used to giving enough attention to ourselves and even mapping out and navigating and seeing what our life looks like when we really critically think about it like it's a tree and there's branches. Here's another example. When the lockdown first happened, I didn't like how I was feeling. I didn't like how I was thinking. I wanted to be successful as a singer, songwriter, as an artist, as a human being. I stopped making music. I stopped producing. I stopped writing songs because I wanted to be more consistent. I wanted to focus on how I do one thing is how I do everything. So I looked at the people around me and I mapped that out. What kind of people have I typically been hanging out with? What kind of people would I like to hang out with? This is also connected to just having the fantasy and setting the attention. Some people can't even do that. Some people can't even visualize the dream home or the dream relationship or like the clothing that they want to wear because it's so deeply ingrained that you don't deserve it. And I'm here to tell you that you do in your own way. But it's not about being famous, and it's not about being a millionaire, and it's not about having everybody look at you and being like, oh my goodness, you're so amazing. It's saying, I want what is for me for the highest good. I don't need to be rich and famous and successful. Everybody's destiny, everybody's outcome is different. Thank you for the gifts. What's up, Amy? Nice to see you. Thank you. It's not about proving to other people. It's saying, I don't like thinking this way. Let me really expand on how I am thinking. Let me really focus on what is blocking me. For example, I want to create more content, but I don't like my physical image. What realistic perspective can I have? My boundary is that people around me are not going to judge me. So I do not give attention to the people who scroll by my videos and roll their eyes and cringe and don't like me. They're not for me. They're not my people. That's fine. Map out, map it out, look at it, analyze it in depth. This is what a Scorpio is good at. So if that feels overwhelming, keep going down that rabbit hole. This is your investment into your journey for who you are so that you do not stay stuck in these patterns, so that you do not stay stuck in this place of I'm a victim. My life is hard. Nobody understands me. Mind mapping. Exactly. Mind mapping. I don't like being spoken to this way. How do I feel about it? How many other people have spoken to me this way? Let me actually think about these people. Let me actually look at how uncomfortable I felt. But society says don't do that, but that's the hustle. Because when you actually take a look at it, you don't ever have to feel that way again when somebody matches that way. That's why you shut down. That's why your body feels physical pain in certain moments, is because you're still stuck in the trauma response. Because After a certain amount of years of you thinking the exact same way, you've created solid locked-in patterns, and you are going to, like Dr. Joe Dispenza was talking about, you're using 5% of your brain to create the new pattern, and then 95% of the rest of your brain is still stuck in this old pattern of I'm not good enough and nobody likes me. So it's almost like your new belief is the underdog and you're going against like the big corporation. So this is where I'm going to tell you, because I need to tell you more and more and more, and I want to and I choose to, and I've been told to tell people more and more and more. You must absolutely know that there is more effort required than you've ever given. And that's not to scare you and to overwhelm you. It's to say challenge accepted. So when I have a list and just to say, let me look at my map to see where I normally go to, this is a realistic, tangible, pragmatic, factual way that you can get to another space. I do not like being around people and feeling judged. What is one thing? What is one perspective I can have? And the way that I got to this space was I personally remembered other people, and I based my future off of the times where, for example, successful people liked that conversation that I had when I didn't like how I looked. And even if that person, if you have somebody in mind, you're like, that wasn't like a millionaire, that successful person, do you feel they were a little bit more successful than you? Do they feel like they had their stuff a little bit more together than you? Then you can take that with you and amplify that with you. And how I used my emotional intelligence is I understood there must be a formula for me to get to the space where if I think in a certain way and I live in a certain way and I act in a certain way, mathematically, I can get more people like this every single time. How can I do this in a real way for me? In an authentic way for me? That's the framework. If you're still saying, I don't get it, I don't know how to do that, that's where you go back to your brain and you say, we are smart and we are intelligent and we are capable and we are not abandoned and we are not a victim and we are not stupid, and that's all that there is to it. And this is my declaration for myself. And I'm going to take one step. I do not want to think this way anymore. What are 5 things that I can do this week, or 5 things that I can do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5? Hyper focus on it, or whatever time frame you want to hyper focus on one thing at a time instead of being desperate, instead of thinking you have to do everything. That's not working for you. Be honest about it. It's cool if you're a multitasker. It's cool if you like to do different things. It's cool that you want to make the world a better place. It's cool that you want to be in love, or that you want to be by yourself, or you're doing what you're doing. If you are unhappy in your circumstances, having a list and just saying, here's step number 1, and to actually map out, where do I normally go to? Let me revisit these moments that mom and dad told me to never be uncomfortable and to never be unattractive and to never show my feelings and to never discuss these things. When we actually look at these parts of ourselves, we don't ever give away our power ever again. If you like this conversation, somebody's saying that they want to book time with me, just tap my bio link. Let me see. I'm using this application from the 80s, man, so I don't know how to contact you. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Is it Mika? If you want to connect with me, just tap the link in my bio and it's right there. If you like this conversation and you want to book time with me and you want to talk one-on-one or two-on-one or whatever, if you have a whole business or a family, whatever, first thing that you're going to do, because it's normally $60 an hour for me, is that if you tap that star up there and join the VTP family right up there, that star, it's going to cost $6. And then from there, you're going to become part of the VTP family. That stands for Victorious People, because you are one. We speak it into existence. And then from there, go to my bio link, and then you're going to see a thing that says 15-minute call, and we can talk. And I go over 15 minutes because I want to make sure that you get it. And then from there, it's $30 an hour. Okay. So, in order for me to be productive in a place where I've never, I must think in a way that I have never thought. I must let go of control, because my old mind is going to tell me that this is weird and this is scary and this is different. My mind is going to listen to somebody. This is why I was saying that analogy of, if you want to be more productive and if you're in a relationship, you can just for 1 week focus on listening to people's tones of voices and feeling what you feel in your body. Being able to just listen to people. And when you can actively listen, this is where you can start to realize that you are making up stories, that you are filling in the blanks, that you are making meaning out of things. This is why you're able to see people who can be around that one person who's yelling and they have a completely different reaction. Haven't you ever noticed that 2, 3, 4, 5 people can be in the exact same circumstance and have completely and totally different reactions? We're not used to dedicating time for ourselves to practice, to dedicate time for ourselves to practice our responses, to practice a different understanding, to practice active listening, to practice talking to ourselves in the mirror, to visualizing other people seeing us when we are communicating and respecting our words. You are going to keep on seeing, as you continue to grow and as they continue to do research, the human mind is powerful. And yes, absolutely, Snow Moon, practice with someone you trust, even if that's yourself. I didn't have mentors. I didn't have people around me. I was able to remember moments in my life where I had people that were similar to people that I liked, similar to more kinds of people that I wanted to connect with. And so I started realizing in those moments the connection was I was being myself because we connected off of a subject that I was interested in. And I realized the other people that I wasn't connecting with, it was because I wasn't acknowledging the fact that I either didn't like the conversation, I didn't like being spoken to that way, or I wasn't being present and I was insecure about my image. So I can focus on those 3 things and I can reevaluate my perspective and I can create a new perspective for myself that rings true. I can remember that there were times even right now that all of the people in here do not judge me. And if they do judge me, my physical appearance, then I don't give time to people like that because I judged myself for decades. I can understand that people who are judging me are judging themselves. I can understand that the people who I want to connect with do not have time to judge other people. I can give myself the understanding that when people look at me, if I've had image insecurities or I've had social anxiety, that when people look at me, they like what they see. Subconscious mind is open to suggestions. We are just open to the concept. This is where we can start to realistically, gradually start taking baby steps and letting go of the concept of time. It doesn't matter how old you are. It is the energy of the excitement that you have in what you are doing. And let me tell you, there can be excitement in the fact that you want to learn how to cry. And there can be excitement as you are crying and releasing the biggest, snottiest, messiest tears because you are tired of being so hard on yourself. It can be really, really exciting where you have the biggest emotional release and you stop in this moment and you realize you've tried almost every single approach you can for that abusive relationship. You've tried every single approach to tell your family that you like what you're doing. You've tried every single approach to tell your family that you're not going to fail again, that you love what you're doing, that you honor who you are, and you are tired of it. There can be an excitement for you to say, I'm not going to respond to these phone calls and these allegations and these conversations anymore because nobody's taking the time to actually understand me, and I want to see what it's like when I give myself the love I'm used to giving to other people. Do you find that some people fear or respond negatively when you walk in your power? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100,000 million, billion, trillion. Let me pin this. Yes. Yes. How dare somebody like me give people advice? How dare somebody like me talk about mental health and talk about an abusive relationship? My family, when they found out that I was doing what I was doing, oh, you think you're better than other people. 3 different people in my family. 3 different people in my family. 2 of whom know that I was taken advantage of. 3 actually who know that I was in an abusive relationship. How dare I do this? How dare I believe in myself? Not even knowing that I was doing this way before TikTok with really successful people. Because perspective is power. And most people take perspective number one and they run with it. This is where I've realized from me to you, people are always going to have opinions about us. People are always going to have opinions about us. Always. Some people can critically think. Some people don't want to. We move forward. I love simple concepts. I love knowing that real recognizes real. There are certain people in this world that are very financially free, that are very successful, that can hang out with. Yo, Dreamer Beamer, I love you. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. I love you. I appreciate you. I have to mute you. I don't know what you're talking about. I love you. Thank you. I don't know you. I don't understand. Okay. Whew. Love. Breathe. Breathe. Not personal. Not emotional. Breathe. Thank you. Okay. So, map out. Even now. If that feels like a personal attack, and I'm talking to you, Dreamer, because I care about you, because I know that you're in these live streams a lot. And you can message me on Instagram if you want to communicate with me. I just don't know what you were talking about. And it's a lot. It's a lot, right? If you're taking it personally, if your feelings are hurt right now, if you're feeling that it's a personal attack, it's not. And to see where your mind goes, and to see if you felt that way before, and to see if you've ever felt this way before, if you do have a certain kind of feeling. It's every single day. It's moment to moment. I like what I'm doing. I acknowledge my gratitude. I don't like what I'm feeling. There's no emotions in business. There's no emotions in the highest form of spirituality. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the double taps. It is challenging sometimes to know who you are. It is challenging sometimes. Which is harder? Let me ask you a question. Which do you think is harder? Which do you think is harder? Struggling, barely getting by, barely paying your bills, feeling unwanted and feeling unloved? Or really, really, really believing in yourself and having people around you say, oh my God, I love you. You're so attractive. I want to be with you. I want to invest in you. I want to help you. I want to add value to you. I want to give you thousands and thousands of dollars. I want to get you on different radio stations. I want to help you out. I want to love you. I want to add value to you. Which do you think is harder? Because let me tell you something. When you're down in the dumps, it's you and it's you and it's you and it's you. But when you're around a lot of different people, and when you're around successful people, and when you're around loving, generous people, and you've never had that before, woo, you can self-sabotage and not even realize it. So you can even map that out to say, I want to get used to success. For one day, for the full entire day, regardless of my bank account. Hey, thank you, Dre. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Let's go. For one day, I am going to communicate. And I'm going to embody somebody who is successful. Watch me change. Communicate. How do they carry themselves? Their head isn't down. Their shoulders are back. Their jaw is relaxed. Their shoulders are relaxed. Their energy is a little bit more relaxed. Their aura is actually bigger because they have abundance. They are patient because they've already had success. Do you get that? Did you hear what I just said? Do you hear what I just said? Somebody who is successful has a little bit more patience because life is going according to plan and they are grateful. They've traveled. They've gotten a massage. They've been eating healthy food. And if you are right now putting down this hypothetical person because you are not at that place, you're already missing the point. You've already missed the point. You can carry yourself differently. You can shift your way of thinking. You can look at that one piece of food that you have in your cupboard, or that one option that you have in your refrigerator, or whatever you have in your life, if you feel that you are lacking. And you can look at that like that is the best meal, that's a 5-course meal, and you are so grateful for it. And your brain will actually shift. I'm not promising you that all of a sudden everything in your life is going to open up. This is for you to experience the energy, the emotion of what it feels like to be in a different space. If you've never had people or, mentors or guides or anything of the sort to see what it's actually like. You can walk into the store with the $5 in your bank account or the $5 million in your bank account, and you can buy that thing, and you can say, I am so grateful that I'm able to afford this. I'm so grateful it is easy for me to afford food. I'm so grateful that it is easy for me to be able to spend money. And when I spend it, more money comes toward me. And then when you give them that $5 bill and it's $1 and they give you $4 back, you say, see, there it is. There's proof. It is easy for me to spend money. And when I spend money, I am given money back. When I spend money, I get money back. Whatever affirmation, whatever you like, whatever belief you like. But the illusion is that if somebody in your life popped up and gave you $100,000 for whatever reason, they passed away, you were a great person, you won the sweepstakes from 1972 or whatever happened in your life, and all of a sudden you had $100,000, certain problems would go away. That doesn't mean that money makes happiness. It's understanding because of that, your trauma is blocking you and blinding you and keeping in this space where you're angry and you're frustrated and nobody understands you. And when you can start to do challenges with yourself, like carrying yourself in a way where you already have it, because I'm telling you, when you hang out with people who have money, or you hang out with people who are traveled, and you hang out with people who are like spiritually connected and they're tuned in and they're glowing, their conversation is different. The rhythm, the tone of their voice is different. They carry themselves differently. There's more patience because they're not desperate. Word. Coach is on point right here. Success is here. Success is here. Success is here. Do you get that? This is success. Somebody the other day was like, what trailer are you living in? To them, I look a certain way. Do you know what it takes in order for you to believe in yourself? Should I explain to that person that I was living in New York and I'm one of those people who I left my home, I left my apartment, I packed my bags up, and I got told by God, by the Creator, by my angels, by my guides, by whoever, that it was time for me to go. And I've just been traveling around, and I was living in North Carolina, and now I'm in Nevada, and we're going to keep on traveling. And today, because of my communication, that we were able to obtain money so that now I can get this nonprofit. And Jen and I, who's in here, who's my girlfriend, who's a shaman, who's a Reiki master, who's a medium, we're able to actually have this nonprofit and get this going like I've been talking to you about since the jump, that I'm going to give you the blueprint and everything so that you can be able to share this with your people in your community, because I walk my talk. Patience. How do I live how do you get to the past and forget it? I don't forget it. I'm going to tell you something that might annoy you and might trigger you. That sad story, that was your past. It was just a story. This is really going to annoy you. Everything that you went through doesn't mean anything. It means something until you make it mean something. Am I a victim because I was taken advantage of? Or do I relate to other people who've experienced severe trauma? You tell me. Am I an imposter because successful people are perfect all the time? Or am I the real deal because I do my best to show you transparency, and when I'm going through things, I talk to you about them, and when I get into arguments in my relationship, we talk about that on these live streams and show you how I navigate. Success is here. I've met plenty of people who have money and are not successful because they don't have friends, they don't have love. What we do when it comes to our past story is we find a way to make it victorious. The reason why you want to let go of your past is because mom and dad in society told you a story of what your past means. Your past means that you don't have the happy marriage now. Your past means that you don't have a successful bank account now, from the perspective of a broken society. Your past means that the best years of your life are behind you, and that you're missing out, and there's something wrong with you, and that you don't compare to the other people, and that you're not good enough because you haven't been given validation, and because you expected for things to go a certain way, and you're frustrated about them because human beings have to be in control all the time. Hey, what's up, TJ? This is somebody right here who saw me when I was living in Los Angeles when I was in the abusive relationship that I was in for almost a decade, and I stayed at his place, and he was gracious, and he just met me like randomly at a coffee shop or something like that. That for me is success. That's love. Success is that we can look at ourselves in the mirror and love ourselves. Hey, thank you for the gifts, man. I love you. Thank you. That was somebody when I didn't want to tell anybody what I was going through in that abusive relationship. He really didn't even ask any questions. He didn't even judge me. He just let me crash at his place. This was like a stranger to me at the time. There are people that are millionaires and billionaires who don't have access to that. Do you understand that? Thank you, brother. Thank you. Success is a choice. Your past showed you that there are problems in the world. Do you see that? And this Dre, I feel like people need to follow Dre because that is the biggest, most underrated understanding right there. If you let go of your struggle story, oh man, come on. You'd be cheesy, just like the rest of these people. Drop an emoji. Be honest about this. Be honest about this. Be vulnerable about this. And be powerful about this. Can you acknowledge, can you own up to the fact that if you let go of your struggle story, your depression, your life is hard, you wouldn't even know how to define your life. If you could not talk about, I'm being beat, I've been hidden, I've been attacked, I've been poor, I've been in poverty, I've struggled, my life has been hard, I've been a victim, people haven't understood me. What would you be without that story? Be honest about it because I was right there. I'll be the first one to admit it. Be real. Hey, thank you. Thoughts on healing from having to bury 2 toddlers on top of an abusive relationship? I would ask myself or tell myself I want to develop a new relationship with my anger and my grief. I would find the nearest mountain or the nearest empty space or the nearest ocean or the nearest place in nature or the nearest safe space or just put a pillow in front of my face and I would just scream. That's what I would do. I would be angry. I wouldn't take that on to somebody else. I would be angry. I would be mad. And I would cry. And they'd be big snotty tears. And I would find a Facebook group for grieving parents and for people who've experienced abusive relationships. And I would start telling myself different affirmations until it wasn't cheesy. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. What's up, Yin? Nice to see you. Oh, thanks. Got you. Let me see. Hey, thank you for that. You haven't failed with healing. What I would say is, because this is like a layered conversation and it's a challenging one. I might not be able to help you right now because I have to hop off in about 10 minutes to prepare for a client call. But I do want to take the time to think how I would approach this. And again, I'm in a relationship with kids, but I don't have any biological children yet. And I know how parents can live for their children, and that can be everything. I honestly, you know what I've done? You know how I got to this place? I want to see if anybody can write in the comment section before I talk about it. What's the one emotion that helped me when I got out of the abusive relationship? If you've ever booked time with me or been taking notes with me, what is the emotion that I can to boost me, to rocket me, to get me out of feeling stuck and feeling traumatized? Right there, right there. Words and Gold knows it right there. Anger, 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 anger. The way that I take my anger is I connect it to I know what I'm doing. I'm going to fall in love with myself. Nobody's going to stop me this time. Nobody is going to tell me how to feel. I know how to feel. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. And I connect that to my joy, to my love, to remember why I am doing what I'm doing. I would acknowledge the fact that I'm frustrated. What's up, Flo? Nice to see you, bro. I would take my frustration, my anger, all the letdown, all the disappointment. I'm not always angry. I'm not always angry. If you're always angry, don't take it out on other people. Do something with it. Why are you doing what you are doing? Where's your joy? Where is your joy? Where is your joy? What brings you joy? For example, if I was grieving 2 children and I'd gotten out of an abusive relationship, I would start creating content. I would start telling my story. I would understand that there's other people in here who've gone through the same thing. Has anybody ever lost somebody? Has anybody ever lost a child? Has anybody ever gotten out of an abusive relationship? Has anybody ever had very conflicting feelings about what it means to be a parent? Right there. You already got one person who's listening to you who's like, yes, oh my God, I'm not alone. Oh, look, there's 2. Look, there's 3. Look, there's 4. Look, there's 5. Look, there's 6. And you're over here saying, I'm all alone with it. We're online. We're everywhere. You might not find us in your local grocery store in your community. We're everywhere. If you are frustrated, if you are in a relationship where your boundaries are not being respected, if you're around other people who are not acknowledging how amazing you are, admit that you're frustrated. Admit it. Admit it. Stop shaming yourself for being frustrated. You're not a bad person. Acknowledge the fact that you are frustrated. Acknowledge it. And then what is the call to action? What is one thing you are going to do? Why are you doing what you are doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Hello? Why are you doing? If you don't know why you are doing what you are doing, if you do not know how powerful it is for you to say, I have a story and there is pain involved and there are other people who are full of pain. And so my story is going to make people cry and they are going to heal. My story is going to make people get frustrated and furious and then they are going to heal. My story is going to inspire and motivate people to let them know I'm not ashamed and they shouldn't be ashamed of themselves either. How can I do this? I mean, look at the content creator. What's his name? Keith Lee? Does anybody else follow Keith Lee? Yo, like, who knows what this guy's been through? He does food reviews on a children's chair. Millions of people love him on his application. I'm sure that man's had frustrations. I'm sure of it. Welcome to the human experience. When you get let down, you pick yourself up and you do something with it. The song that I have on all streaming services, Manifest, I was pissed off when I wrote that. Living in the projects, roaches in the cupboards, nobody helping me out. Roommates were chain smoking, traveling 90 minutes to go to a job, mopping the floor. I said, no more will I be a victim. I wrote it into existence. I wrote it into existence. I spoke it into existence. Good God, good love, good company. That's all that I want. Abundance, yeah, I got plenty. I got it. I'm out of space, I come in peace. I'm different. Our past the same, but we got very, very different dreams. I'm frustrated at these people. Think that you look like me and think that you're like me because you like my energy, but then you put me down and you emasculate me and you attack me and you do the narcissistic thing, and then you come over here and you tell people that you love me and you put on a public presentation and then you get behind the scenes and try to destroy my character. Your anger can move you forward. When you are speaking to other people, you are not thinking about how they are going to interpret it. You have tried that. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you. It is healthy to connect with your anger. It is healthy for your anger to take you to that place. And then once you've made peace, I mean, come on, haven't you seen... I wasn't aware of it until Jen brought it to my attention. People are like, oh, I'm glad that chip off your shoulder process. We're unaware of how we occur and how we appear to other people. I live with myself. Good thing that I didn't care that people had opinions about my emotions and my anger and my interpretation, my communication, because there was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I impacted, that we impacted, that you impacted in your conversations by you showing up, by you tapping, by us being here as a family. I don't have all the answers. I'm not the smartest person here. There's plenty of people who've been doing this before me. And that's not to play myself small. When I say emasculated, I mean that she would literally say things to say that I'm not a man because I'm being this way, and if I was a man, I would be this way and this way and that way, and at the very end of the conversation that she said, like, you're not a man because, like, you were taken advantage of. She used it against me because I was leaving, because that's what narcissists do when the love bombing doesn't work. But here's what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. Live a life. Here, hold on, let me pin your comment. I love you. Thank you. I should have made changes sooner. I should have anger. But here's the thing. What we're not going to do, because you're being your best friend for yourself right now, you're parenting yourself right now. You can own up to that and you can feel that full-on temper tantrum and be like, roar! And really let it out. You can set a timer. You can set an alarm for it. And then you pick yourself up and you tell yourself, we are not going to be ashamed and we are not going to compare ourselves, and we're not going to say that our best years are behind us, and we're not going to look for validation from other people. We learned the lesson. We love learning lessons, don't we? We love to learn those lessons. We love to learn those lessons. That's it. This is why taking notes, this is why mapping out, this is why critically thinking, this is why realizing there's more than one option, there's more than one perspective, there's more than one truth. We love it. We love it. We honor the lessons. So if you want to make a change in your career, if you want to make a change in your relationship, if you want to make a change in your perspective, if you want to make a change in any way, shape, or form, get a piece of paper or use your phone or a sticky note or whatever and say, what are 5 things that I'm going to do? Not 5 million. Hey, what's up, Stina? Nice to see you. One might be doing what Jen said and tapping that link in that bio to book time with me for March so that we can all collectively do this class together, because I'm going to be teaching this emotional intelligence class and it's going to be the full spectrum. I'm excited. 2 classes a month, $50 a class. Recorded. And you're going to be, and I got worksheets. And I got some cool free stuff for you. And you're going to be okay. So you are going to see so many people saying this in so many different ways. Stina, I have a class now for emotional intelligence. It's in my bio link. You are going to see more people telling you that the rules are made up, the rules are made up, the rules are made up. Zoom. Yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. The rules are made up. There are people every single day. I mean, come on. I don't even talk about politics in these live streams. Look at the politicians. Look at how just everything just keeps on getting made up. And then they say, I didn't mean that. Whoop, I meant that. Whoop, I didn't mean that. Whoop, I meant that. Whoop, I meant this. I meant that. You know, have somebody, regardless, we're not going to go on this left versus right divisive conversation. You have somebody that was hiding the fact that he was a transgender, which is cool because my mom is gay. My dad was gay. I'm in a gay agenda. I'm the straightest gay person, whatever you want to call me, whatever helps you sleep at night. Jesus loves me. God loves me. Okay? You have somebody that completely and totally denied it, and then they found out about it, and he's like, well, I'm not going away, and he's still passing laws. So you might as well, if you're looking for a new job, you might as well say if they need 5 years of experience and they're going to pay you $50,000, if you know how to do it, you might as well just, whoops, you know what? Time's an illusion. What's 5 years? Go for it. As long as you know it and you're certified if you need the certifications, okay? Don't just say, I want to be a doctor, okay? This is not legal advice. Stop it. Will there be a social outlet for the class? We communicate together. We have conversations together to talk about it, where it's going to be more of a roundtable. If that's what you meant. For real, man. They want like 20-year-old person who has 21 years of experience, and they'll pay you like a cheeseburger an hour. Like, are you kidding me? The class, Queen Elizabeth, Your Highness. The link is in my bio, and then when you tap book time with me. I really want for you to get. I really want for you to get that the things that block us, the things that limit us, it's not your thoughts. It's not you who is thinking it. It was given to you. It was given to you. It was taught to you. Possibly forced given to you by people that were not truly, genuinely happy. By people who just wanted to be accepted by society. By people who had trauma. by people who are in a vicious feedback loop of nobody understands me and I'm going to have children and make sure that nobody understands them over and over and over and over again. And don't talk about your feelings, even though my father and mother told me don't talk about my feelings. I don't want for you to talk about your feelings, and so on and so forth. You're the generational trauma breaker. I really, really want for you to understand that you have never taken the full time to actually think what rings true for you. And I want for you, if you're open to it, in the next 24 hours or the next week or whatever time frame that you want, to start to realize and start to look at your beliefs and say, do I truly believe this? Do I like this? Or does this feel off? Or when I get around somebody and they're like, ooh, I love you. I want to hire you for this job and I want to pay you this much and I want to help you out. And you're like, this feels off. It's off. It's off. It's off. It's off. You know what you're doing. And it's important for you to get that. All right? So I'm going to hop off in just a minute here. I just wanted to share this with you, that what's been helping me with my productivity is I have a list of 5 things that I'm doing. Because if I think about the 10,000 things that I need to do, it's not fun, it's not exciting. If I just focus on one, it can be the best one that's ever won. Hey, that's amazing, Stina. Love that. I feel like a lot of us are having heart-to-hearts with ourselves right now and really looking at where we're going and say, come on, you're better than this. You're bigger than this. What are you doing with yourself? Don't put yourself down like this anymore. Are we choosing this? Are we going to allow this to keep on happening? Are we going to keep on people-pleasing? Or can we acknowledge that life is giving us some signs? Where's emotional intelligence class link? I don't see it in your bio. Yin, it should be when you tap my bio link and then you go to book time with me. The classes, the 2 classes a month are in the bio, right? Yes. If Jen's in here, she should be able to help you because she helped set it up, and we love her because she's a boss. I really, really, really want for you to take a good, honest look. You can't afford it right now. So go back to yourself and say, how can I afford it? And see it. Just don't give that power. Determination. Turn depression into determination. There you go right there. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, my love. So, if there's anything that I want for you to take from this, besides the fact that you can just, it's simple. It's so simple. If you're a business owner, if you want to be in a new relationship, if you want to be in a healthier relationship, even if it's with yourself, what is one thing I want to develop about myself? And then we go down the rabbit hole and we go into TikTok. Let's say that's communication for you. I want to learn communication. Perfect. You go into the search engine and you type in communication tips, communication styles. Help me understand communication. Communication for people with trauma. Communication for people with PTSD. Communication tips. Okay. Hey, what's up, Christina? Nice to see you. So, 5 things. This is how I'm boosting up my productivity. 5 things that I want to focus on. For me, it's for business. For you, it can be for any intention. And you only focus on one until you've gotten that one down. And then you do the next one. Am I spiritual? You tell me. Hang out, get to know me. You tell me. Okay? And the other one that I really want for you to take with you is for you to really take an honest look about your perspective in your life, how you dress, how you speak, how you carry yourself, how you perceive things. This is going to go over some people's heads. Slow down, hear me, actively listen. Hey, thank you, Lady Beam, for buying the notebook. I'm glad that you got some value from it. Thank you. Are these concepts, listen to a Scorpio, we go in depth so that we never have to fall in the loophole again. Okay? Are these perspectives? What are my perspectives around money? Who taught me my beliefs around money? What is my perspective on fashion? Who taught me this fashion? Who am I dressing for? What do I like about myself? What do I like about my physical appearance? What do I not like about my physical appearance? Who is the person who told me that I wasn't attractive? Who is the person who told me what attractive looks like? Who is the person who told me that there's something wrong with me? Do I like how that feels? What is my new perspective? Do I like my physical weight? Do I like how I am as a mother, as a father, as a human, as an upcoming person in this world with intentions, goals, dreams, aspirations, and hopes? If so, fantastic. If no, let me sit with it until I can do something about it, until I have a new perspective that rings true. This is how I move. This is how I operate, so that when we get around other people, guess what happens? You can be around anybody and you can stay in your power and you can listen to people and you can observe. I take 1,000,000 breaths, so yes, I am a millionaire. Yes, absolutely, I am, because I have 1,000,000 breaths. Thank you. All right. So, again, for those of you that just hopped in, great news. Congratulations. I now have, it's going to be an interactive class with the Soul Family discussing emotional intelligence, giving you the breakdowns. It starts in March. There's going to be 2 classes a month, 6 classes in total. I got worksheets. I got information I'm going to share with you. You can print it out. You can put it on your wall. You can take it with you. You can share it with a friend. Good stuff. Get the full spectrum. Yes, I also believe in smalls and larges and extra larges too, and even double XLs and triple XLs. Yes. All right. This is going to be interactive. There's going to be conversations. I'm determined to make sure that you get it. Other than that, if you like this conversation, tap that star up there, join the VTP family. You get cool emojis, I have graphic design, and then from there, you are going to become part of the VTP family. That stands for Victorious People. I love that you love my sense of humor. Thank you. Come on, man. Stop it. I'm too quick. Okay? After you join the VTP family for $6, you're going to tap that link in my bio and get a 15-minute conversation with me that goes over 15 minutes. That's for free. From that energy exchange, from you supporting me. And then afterwards, it is $30 an hour to book time with me. And if you haven't booked time with me in a while, you might want to tap in, because I've been leveling up, man. I got new information. I drop new gems. Other than that, hang out on these live streams, take notes, interact with people, be vulnerable, be open. I do it for free, and then I do it because I'm good at it one-on-one, two-on-one. You got family members, you got kids, you got teens, want to level up, want to get out their relationship, want to get a divorce, want to get married, want to have the exact same relationship with a new perspective. I got you. It's not all of a sudden wish upon a star and things change. What age am I? I'm timeless. Maybe I'm 5 years old. Although I feel like with the amount of levels that I've had, it's just like I'm like thousands and thousands of years old. It's just I'm moisturized, right? But I'm timeless. Thank you. I just can't imagine needing validation from other people. All right? So anybody who books time with me, anybody who joins an hour deal, you're going to get this new PDF file that I created, because I'm like, I need to show people how to map out, because the way that I do it is very unique, and sometimes people don't have that perspective. So I have a PDF. I'm going to give that to you. I also have the ebook on the power of setting boundaries. Okay? So tap in, book time, join the family. Talk with me. Safe space, no judgment. Senior citizen, teenager, child, mom, dad, divorcee, I got you. Emotional intelligence is being able to have a different perspective where you normally feel the loss of power. It's being able to have a different perspective when you get around people who are toxic. It's going to give you a different perspective on the narcissist. If you want to be more determined, if you want to have more consistency in your life and understand how your momentum and your consistency in an inconsistent world where the speed is always changing and they tell you to hustle, 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 hustle. It's honoring your intuition. So especially if you grew up in a family where you didn't talk about emotions and talk about feelings, intuition can be challenging because you're constantly thinking about other people. All right? James from Scotland, you're a medium and a business owner. I love you, brother. Thank you for asking me all the questions. My family, I'm legally, technically a Scotsman too. Thank you. I love you. All right. I gotta go. I got a call to get on. I love you. It's all fun. It's all love. It's all Scorpio energy. Thank you. Everybody make sure that you're following Flo. That's my soul brother from another mother. All right. Be kind to yourself. Take this energy with you. Let's take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath and let this deep breath symbolize that we all have inner peace. All of us, that we all know inner peace around our happiness and our emotions and our sadness and our grief and our anger, so we can roar when we need to. Okay. Thank you. I love you too. Peace around our finances, peace around our emotions, how we communicate them, and peace around our health and our protection. Inner knowing. Okay? From the bottom of your feet to the tops of your head. Very simply, very powerfully right now, fill yourself up with that energy. I like to use the color purple, and I breathe very slowly so that I can feel all that power going up my body, and I connect with the emotion of it. Happiness, sadness, grief, whatever pops up for you, that's the right thing. You're in a safe space. It's protected. All right? So take this deep breath with me. And after you exhale, and do it in your own pace, because I take very deep breaths. Don't worry if you have breathing issues. It's all good. Write congratulations in the chat, because winners celebrate winners. Okay, here we go. Roar! Congratulations. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, girl. Yeah. Ooh. Excuse me. There you go. Congratulations. Winners celebrate winners. Take this energy with you. Harness it. You do not need to share it with other people. Meet people where they're at. All right. Go get them. I love you. Thank you for the people who have been signing up for this emotional intelligence class that I have. I'm very, very excited. Very excited. Thank you for all the people who have conversations on these live streams with other people. Thank you for being the leader that you are. Thank you for loving yourself more. Thank you for staying alive. Please stay alive. We need you. There's power in numbers. Keep going. Doesn't matter where you are. Yes, I'm a millionaire as in cash, because when I've had money, I've thrown it and it's gone into other people's hands and it's moved in the air at least 1 million times. Yes. Yes. Thank you. All right. Be kind to yourself. I love you. Ask silly questions. Get silly answers. Thank you so much. My name is Nikki Scorpio. I am indeed a Scorpio. In fact, I have 7 planets in Scorpio, so don't take it too personally, okay? I'm just not the one. We are one. I'm not the one. Thank you so much. What we're not going to do is we're not going to think that success means that you have $1 million in your bank account, right? Because I know millionaires who are crying because I have dust on their Ferrari because I have no friends. So thank you. Enjoy the third dimension. I love you, okay? Nobody knows what they're doing, and everybody's telling you how to do it. All right, thank you. Thank you. You're a good talker, too. I'm just a reflection of you. All right, I got to go. In 10, I love you. 9, if you want to support this journey that I'm on, the PayPal, the Cash App, the Venmo, all that different stuff is on my bio link. That is all going to take this into the mainstream and to provide for the lovely family and the 3 children in this relationship that I'm in, okay? 8, love yourself unconditionally. Forgive people. There's power in forgiveness. 7, have healthy beliefs and don't project them onto Nikki Scorpio. Don't do it. It's a trap, my fellow Scotsmen. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be mad because I get paid to do what I love. Figure out how to do it yourself and consider taking off caps lock, because you're always talking like this with caps lock and I just don't understand it. Okay? 6, if you are angry, see moments where you were happy. See if you can remember moments where there was joy, because some people only know how to react with chaos. Yeah, you are rich. You're definitely rich. You're a rich one, all right. Number 5, again, all the rules are made up. So all the people who are telling you how to be happy, guess what? Successful people, who your kind of people, they do not criticize you and put you down. Anybody who's putting down you is putting down themselves. Okay, number 4. Do not take life too seriously. We are infinite beings, okay? It's not life or death, make or break, do or die. You're going to get to where you need to go. Don't compare your journey to other people, and do not look at your success as defined by other people. Thank you. Oh, you're woke? Oh, congratulations. I've heard terrible things about the woke mob. I've heard terrible things about people who are woke. Oh, wait, no, I'm just joking. Okay, number 3. Allow other people, let other people be in the realms that they are. Let people be who they are. Stop trying to change other people. Focus on yourself if you are unhappy. Do not give other people advice if you are unhappy. Oh, man. You must love yourself. Number 2. There's no such thing as an alpha male, and real men show their feelings, and divine feminine is honored. Number one, if you grew up in chaos and drama and trauma, you're used to focusing on chaos and drama and trauma. Focus on the gratitudes. Because some people are just frustrated and they're miserable. All right? Thank you. Congratulations to everybody. Love yourself. Nobody knows what they're doing. Do not take life too seriously. Thank you to the people who booked time with me today. Thank you for the people who have given gifts. Thank you for those of you who take notes. Thank you for those of you who do this for free, who hang out and who are getting wealthier every day because you're not broke. Thank you for those of you that take responsibility for yourself and hold yourself accountable. And thank you for all the trolls who constantly remind me to be confident and to know that anybody who doesn't like a part of me, I'm just holding up a mirror, and I'm not obligated to get along with 8 billion people. Thank you. Scorpio out.